Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about describing things around the home. As you walk around your house or apartment, you see a number of things, and you need to be able to describe those things when you talk about them in English. Maybe you have an old pair of shoes and they're a little bit scuffed and worn out. Oh, I'm giving away some of the words and phrases already. Maybe there's a bunch of cords behind your desk and they're all tangled. There's another word I will talk about in this lesson. But it's nice to be able to describe the things that you have around your house and home, and not just the things, but the rooms as well in some cases. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about describing things around your home. Droopy. So I really like this word. Let me say it again. Droopy. This plant is droopy. When you don't water a plant, the leaves will droop. Isn't that a fun word? Droop. So this plant has droopy leaves. Notice I used the verb form and then I switched to the adjective form. When a plant has droopy leaves, it looks like this. There are other things as well in life that you can use this word for. Sometimes things just droop, but certainly plants are the best example. So if something's like this, and then let's say a plant is like this, and then you don't water it and the leaves slowly go like this, that action is called drooping, and we would describe that as the plant is very droopy and needs water. When you come home from vacation, sometimes some of your plants might be droopy. Sorry, I just like saying that word, droopy. Scuffed. I mentioned this in the intro. If you have an old pair of shoes, as you walk, if your shoe hits against the ground or other things, eventually parts of the shoe wear away. The shoe starts to be scuffed. These shoes are scuffed. They need to be polished and shined, but I don't know if that will remove the scuffs. So you see where the shoe is dark, that's how the shoe originally looked. But if you look at those lighter parts where it's worn a little bit, we would describe that as being scuffed. These shoes are scuffed. Sometimes your shoes get so scuffed, they start to get holes in them. And then at that point, you need a new pair of shoes. So scuffed. Smudged. Sometimes, well, this doesn't happen as much now. When our kids were little, often our windows would be smudged. There would be a lot of fingerprints and markings on our windows because our kids would touch the windows with their hands. So maybe they would be eating something and then they would touch the window and they would smudge the window. You can see the finger marks. Someone on this window went like that and now the window is smudged. A glass can also be smudged. This is plastic, but if this was made out of glass, there could be smudge marks. This glass could be smudged if there were fingerprints on it. The water tastes particularly yummy this morning. Dusty. Now this one I think I taught in a previous lesson. We live in a world where eventually there's dust on things. I think I even did these same actions last time. There's dust on top of the lens of my camera. It's just a natural thing that happens. When you live somewhere, there are fine particles in the air that slowly drift down, and then you get a little bit of dust on things. Can I hide my face enough? So there's a little bit of dust on my finger. I need to dust this room. My laptop is dusty. This desk is dusty. It's a lot of dust in here. So you can describe something as being dusty. Cluttered. My desk over there is a little bit cluttered. It's not too bad. Let me give you a bigger view of that. No display. It's a little dark over there, isn't it? It's a little bit cluttered. It's not too bad though. When we describe something as cluttered, it means there's just a whole lot of stuff there and it's not organized. It's not in a nice, orderly fashion where you can find the things that you need. My desk over there, one end is usually quite tidy, the end that's on camera, and then the other end that you can't see is actually quite cluttered. Your kitchen counter can be cluttered. A desk can be cluttered. If you have a windowsill by a window that has a lot of space and you put a bunch of things there, it can be quite cluttered. So simply a spot that has a lot of things that aren't really organized. Tangled. Oop, that's a little bit too big. Maybe we'll leave it there though. Behind my desk, there are a lot of cords. Because there are a lot of cords and you kind of move them around sometimes, they get a little bit tangled. If you have really long hair, your hair can also get tangled. When you use the word tangled, it means things that are kind of around each other. So you can see here, even these headphones, this can get all tangled, right? And then I have to kind of figure out how to straighten it out. But if you have a lot of cables, if you have a lot of cords, if you have a lot of wires, they can get very, very tangled. This doesn't work for me. In English, when you say something doesn't work for you, it means it bothers you. In my house, I don't like it when the cords are tangled like that. I would certainly straighten this out and tidy this up. Foggy. If you take a very, very hot shower, sometimes the mirror gets foggy. Sometimes the windows get foggy. We also use the word fogged up. So I took a hot shower and now the mirror is foggy. I took a hot shower and now the mirror is fogged up. So you can see here, he can't see himself in the mirror because there's a thin layer of moisture. There's a thin layer because the room was steamy. The mirror got foggy and fogged up. So simply not able to see well. Stacked. This is a pretty straightforward one. When you have things like these mugs, you can stack them. When you look in our cupboard, there are often cups that are stacked. There are plates that are stacked. There are bowls that are stacked. And then just to expand on that, these mugs are stacked. I can also say these mugs are in a stack. These bowls are stacked. These bowls are in a stack. Or there's a stack of bowls in the cupboard. Go and grab them. But yes, when you put things on top of each other, and when they kind of fit into each other a little bit, we say they are stacked. Messy. So there are a few words here. Well, there's a few more coming up. There's disorganized and disarray, and we already did cluttered. They're all variations of something not being tidy. So when your room is tidy, it doesn't look like this. When your room is messy, it looks like this. Messy is probably the most common word that we use to describe a room that looks like this. Oh, your room is messy. Kids, it's Saturday morning. Your rooms are messy. Go clean your rooms. That would be a common thing to say. But you can see here, this person has lots of clothes on their bed, very disorganized, and lots on the floor. So we would say this room is messy. This plate, though, is dirty. So dirty is a word we use for things like dishes or clothes. Like, oh, my clothes are dirty. Oh, I didn't do my laundry. My clothes are dirty and I need that shirt today. That's actually true in my case. There's a shirt I need today and I didn't wash it. But when you're done eating, we would say that you have dirty dishes. Okay, so this dish is dirty. It needs to be washed. You can tell this person didn't clean their plate. Usually in our house, we tell our kids to eat all the food on their plate. But this is a dirty dish or a dirty plate. You could use either to describe it. Disorganized. So this is a little more formal sounding. You know, oh, his desk is always disorganized. Or you could even say a person is disorganized. When something is disorganized, it's not tidy. It's not organized. You could also use it to describe a place where things aren't in spots where you would think. Like, oh, her kitchen is disorganized. There's spoons in 3 different drawers. There's plates all over in all different spots. It's very disorganized. So simply, probably the best description for this one is to say the opposite of organized, the opposite of neat and tidy. Disarray. Again, this one sounds a little formal. Maybe you're reading a book and the book says, and he went to his office and it was in disarray. Or he was a very messy person. His desk was always in disarray. So this is simply another word for messy. Okay, so you can see here, this is not organized. This is definitely in disarray. This is messy. This is disorganized. These are all words we could use to describe that area. There's a lot of things in this picture though. Be fun to do a lesson where I just describe what's in pictures. Did you see the cat? Do you see the sunglasses? Do you see the record, which is the round black thing? Do you see the coat hanger and the electric guitar? I don't know what everything is in this picture. But anyways, let's move on before I get too distracted. But there is a cat in that picture. If you look, you can find it. Missing. Sometimes you describe something because you can't find it. Sometimes my reading glasses are missing. Sometimes I can't find my reading glasses. Sometimes my keys are missing. I don't know where they are. This is a little bit of a funny joke on this key holder, on this key rack. If my keys are missing, I've gone fishing. I don't know why they shortened fishing. It doesn't rhyme when you say it this way. It should be the full word. If my keys are missing, I've gone fishing. That would rhyme. But yes, sometimes if you look at the middle hook, sometimes something is just missing. You don't know where it is. Have you seen my keys? Have you seen my reading glasses? That's how you would ask someone to help you find something. Or can you help me find my glasses? Can you help me find my keys? Broken. So we mentioned this a bit earlier. Sometimes something is just broken. Maybe the stove is broken. Maybe the fridge is broken. It means that it's no longer working. When something is broken, it's not working. So I get frustrated. A couple weeks ago, my camera was broken. Or what was broken recently as well? Can't remember. There was something else that was broken and we had to get it fixed. So anyways, when something isn't working, it is broken. A few years ago, our stove was broken and it wasn't repairable. So we had to buy a new stove. But when something's broken, it doesn't work. Filthy. So this cooktop or stove is filthy. It needs to be cleaned. When you say something is filthy, it means it is, I was going to say dirty. Yeah, dirty would work too. The stovetop is filthy. The stovetop is dirty. But filthy is like really, really dirty. Like this is filthy. Like look at the corner here. I was like, oh, what is that? It's some cooked, dried up food and it's just a mess. So when something is filthy, it simply means that it needs to be cleaned. In English, we might even say it's disgusting. That means that you have a negative feeling when you see this. Like, oh, it's disgusting. It's gross. It's filthy. Those would all be ways we would describe that. I would use all three sentences. That's gross. That's disgusting. That's filthy. It needs to be cleaned. Cracked. Sometimes things get cracked. Oh, I don't have my phone, but windows can get cracked. You can have your phone screen can be cracked. It's not nice when something hits a window and then the window is cracked because then it, wrong slide. I thought the next slide was the one I wanted. I think I got that mixed up. Oh, here it is. It needs to be replaced. Let's go back to this though. Sometimes kids play with a ball and they hit a window and then the window is cracked and then you need to replace the window. Not nice. It's not nice when you drop your phone and then the screen is cracked because then you got to spend a lot of money to get a new phone. Burnt out or even just out. So you can see I don't know how light number 1, 2, and 4 are actually on. I didn't realize when I chose this picture, these lights are magically on, but the third light is burnt out. You can also say burned out. So it can be B-U-R-N-E-D as well, but I say burnt out. You could also say the light is out. Hey, the light in the garage is out. Or, hey, do we have any new bulbs? The light in the kitchen is out, or the light in the kitchen is burnt out. Those would all be example sentences. And again, not sure how light number 1, 2, and 4 are on. Some sort of magic electricity because these lights are not screwed into a socket. So kind of strange, but hey, it's good to have a little bit of magic in the lesson, isn't it? I think so. And then needs to be replaced. This is a very common phrase for something that's broken, burnt out, worn out, falling apart, all of the things where something is becoming unusable. Okay. Maybe you have a toaster and you put your bread in and only one piece of toast gets toasted. and the other side doesn't. And it's like, you could say it needs to be fixed, but generally in that case, you would say it needs to be replaced. The light in the room is burnt out. It needs to be replaced. The window is cracked. It needs to be replaced. That's the phrase we would use to describe all of those situations. So it took me a long time to find a picture of someone hitting a TV. For those of you that are younger than the age of 35 or 40 even, you might not remember this era, but there was an era where if a TV was acting flaky, that means it wasn't working the way it was supposed to. If you hit the TV on the top or side, sometimes that fixed it. When I was a kid, we had a TV where sometimes you had to hit the TV because it was acting flaky. So anything that works sometimes and not other times, or is working and then just stops working and you don't know why, we would say it's flaky. In the modern era, we often say, my Wi-Fi is flaky. Okay, so today the Wi-Fi is working great, but there have been times where I'm doing a live stream when the Wi-Fi is flaky and then my signal drops in and out. So flaky means to kind of work on and off. Out of commission, out of service. This is something that you will not, I don't think you guys have elevators in your home, but if you live in an apartment building, the elevator might be out of commission or out of service. It means the same thing. I couldn't figure out if one phrase is more American and one is more British, but sometimes you walk into a building and the elevator is out of commission or the elevator is out of service. Maybe you do laundry in a laundry room in your apartment building, and one of the washing machines is out of commission or out of service. And there's a little sign on it that says out of commission or out of service. It simply means that thing is not working, okay? We use this to talk about people sometimes too. Like, where's Joe today? Oh, he's out of commission. He hurt himself playing soccer. He won't be at work today. So anyways, if something in your house is out of commission or out of service, it simply means that it is not working. Crooked. I think this is pretty easy to figure out. 2 of these paintings are straight. 1 is crooked. When you hang something on the wall, which Jen and I don't do a lot, it can either be straight or level, or it can be crooked. So when something is on the wall and it looks like this, it is crooked. You can also have it where you might have a window in your house, and if your house is hundreds of years old, the window might be crooked. Like maybe the wall isn't straight anymore and the window is crooked in your house. But yes, sometimes things are crooked. Those doors are nice and straight though. They're not crooked, so that's nice. Tilted. So this burner on the stove is tilted. So this picture is crooked. You could say this is crooked, but you could also say tilted, okay? I would more likely say that this is tilted. If you live in a really old house, the floor can be tilted. When I was a kid, the old house that was here before this house, the back room, the floor was tilted. We used to put marbles at one end and they would roll down to the other end. Marbles are like little glass balls. I don't know if you've ever played with marbles, but definitely this burner is tilted. It needs to be pushed in order to work properly, probably. So we don't use this word very much. We use the word crooked more often, but you can see that this rug is not nicely positioned between the wall and the couch. It's askew. Sorry, my voice doesn't want to say the word because we don't use it hardly. It's askew, okay? You should know the meaning of this though, because you might see this word in like a news article or something. But if something is straight and then it's moved like this carpet, we would say it is askew. Well, look at that. The next word is stained. This table is stained, okay? It has a coffee stained. Things can get stained, okay? Coffee will stain things. What else will stain things? Let's say you hurt yourself and your finger's bleeding and you get some blood on your shirt. That will stain your shirt. Generally, we use the word stained when something is stained to mean it's discolored in a way that can't be cleaned. Like, I think this coffee stain will come out, but sometimes a stain won't come out. So those are good phrases as well, by the way. If you spill coffee on a white shirt, it might be stained and it might stay that way. You might not be able to get the stain out. So when something's stained, it means it's probably permanently changed in terms of its color. So there you have a nice coffee stain. Those usually clean up pretty good, but definitely if you were wearing a white shirt and spilled coffee on it, it's going to be stained. So when you're talking about food, you can talk about food that's good. The apple on the right side here is good. The apple on the far left, wait, is that your left? I hope it's your left. I think so. Well, you can tell one of these is rotten. One of these has gone bad. Okay, so when you're talking about food, we usually say that something is rotten, or we say that it has gone bad. Hey, are the bananas still good? No, they've gone bad. No, they're rotten. That's always a sad day for me, although that usually never happens in our house. Bananas get eaten far too quickly here. And if bananas are really ripe, we usually just peel them and freeze them, and we use them to make smoothies later. But definitely, you choose. One of these apples is rotten. One of these apples has gone bad. So something can smell off. We even just use the word off, like is the milk's gone off, or this milk is off, or this milk smells off. You can see by the expression on his face that there's something wrong with this milk. This milk has gone off. This milk smells off. Oh, did I use gone off too? Yes, you can say that. But yes, always good idea. Always a good idea. If milk has been in the fridge for a few days, we call it the sniff test. Give it the sniff test to see if it is still good. And if it smells off, well, you can bake something with it, but usually we don't. Usually if the milk has gone off or if the milk has gone bad, we just get rid of it. Muddy. So you might have children, or you yourself might sometimes walk in your house or apartment with muddy boots, and then you might have a muddy carpet. So notice I can say in this picture, these shoes or boots, it's kind of hard to see. I would say shoes. These shoes are muddy. This carpet is muddy. When you walk outside, when it's wet outside, dirt turns to mud when it's wet, and then you get it on your shoes. And then if you walk in, you get it on your carpet. So these shoes are muddy. This carpet is muddy. We also use the verb track. So you can track mud into the house. Oh, you tracked mud all over the floor. There's a bonus word for you. Don't walk outside in the mud and then track the mud into the house with your muddy shoes or boots. Pleasing. This is indeed a sprig of eucalyptus. It is a plant that smells really nice. It's very pleasing. These books are stacked in a very nice, orderly way. When you see something that's very organized, it can be pleasing. When we say something is pleasing, it makes you feel good. Like it's nice when it's it was a very pleasing day, or I had a very pleasing cup of tea, or this eucalyptus smells very pleasing. So when something's pleasing, it means it makes you happy. It means it makes you feel good. And yeah, that's definitely eucalyptus. Hopefully ours grows really nice and tall on the farm this year. That would be cool. So two things. Something can be falling apart and something can be brand new. So we had a door handle. This one looks kind of new. So I'm pretending this is falling apart, but this might be a picture of someone installing a new one. But when something's falling apart, it's worn out. It doesn't stay together anymore. Eventually things fall apart. If you use something enough, eventually it will fall apart. So you could describe this as, oh, the door handle is falling apart. My car is falling apart. The kettle in the kitchen, if the handle wiggles, you would say, oh, it's falling apart. So when you have something that is no longer brand new, you've had it for a very long time, and it's starting to make noises it's not supposed to and wiggle and jiggle in ways it's not supposed to, you would say it's falling apart. And then brand new. When you buy something that's brand new, it simply means it's new. I don't know why we have brand new. If you buy a new car, you could also say you bought a brand new car. I bought a brand new toaster. I'm so excited we're getting a brand new microwave today. But when something's brand new, it means simply that it is new.